this summer, there was a dialogue that was organized at Swift Park, and it was shut down. We were unable to have it.
Right.
And it was a black-white dialogue over the Black Lives Matter, the killing of George Floyd, and ongoing, racial injustices and tensions. So eventually we were able to have that dialogue, and then the group out of Tri-Cities of young people called the New Panther Initiative did get a permit, and we held a peaceful protest in downtown Rogersville. And then after that, one of our CareNet members had this idea of a quilt. And that's when we got in touch with Cassandra. She's the main person here at Price Public.
Oh, okay.
They asked me to do a square for the quilt also, and then, as we was talking, they needed somewhere to exhibit, to, put the quilt so it could be seen. So, we usually do Black History programs here at Price Public, and since we didn't have one, I said, well, it can stay here for the month, why not? That'd be perfect.
Okay.
Like
So which square did you do?
I did Yusef Hawkins. That one.
So where did all these pieces of the quilt come from? Who all built these?
So 20 people made squares. Okay, some are CareNet, that's our Sierra Club committee that's here in Rogersville. Some are like Cassandra, friends of us. A few are from even out of town. There's a lady from South Carolina that made squares. There's several from Segregated, where Segregated's at. And then, so it's a variety. And there's a woman named Wendy Ritchie. She actually lives in Limestone. It was her idea to make the quilt. And so she got us going. And then we got together with Price because it's Black History Month, and they had some available days to have.
I was going to ask you, you did 3 of them?
Yes, sir.
Which ones did you do?
I did the Be Kind, Emmett Till, and the Catherine Johnson.
Okay. So what? This is a dumb question, but sometimes you got to ask a dumb question. What motivated you to participate in this program?
I'm biracial.
Oh, okay.
And my family never really acknowledged that, and so my family didn't recognize the Black part of our history, and I always suspected, but never really dove into it. And so now I have grandchildren that are biracial, and so now it's important. So we're looking. It's always been important, but we're looking at what's happening to our children. And my grandson is 16, makes good grades, he's 17 now, does well. But if he's pulled over by the police, how do I know he's going to be safe? Or if he pulls into the wrong parking lot? That's what I worry about. And people aren't seeing that. Still, to this day, they're not acknowledging that our youth are at risk.
Okay.
So that's what got me involved in.
Even though she made 3 squares for the quilt, I'm meeting her for this first time right now. And also Miss Virginia Lee, she made a quilt square, and we've been discussing it for weeks. Who is she? Where is she? There she is. It's amazing that people made squares, and we had to figure out who they were and where they were coming from, and so on.
Okay.
I made George Floyd's square, and the reason I chose George Floyd is because he was murdered 4 blocks from where we grew up. We're sisters. He was murdered 4 blocks from where we grew up in Minneapolis. And we could believe it. That was the real thing. Yes, we could believe it.
Because there's always been racism in that police department.
And not only that, just the number of people's lives lost to racial injustice is in the thousands. And no matter how far you go back into history, or you come right up to today. It just is an ongoing problem that has to end. And the other thing about the quilt, it's an emotional experience. I think Cassandra will attest to that.
What did you think about what happened this summer when your peaceful meeting got blown out of proportion?
We were called thugs by the Hawkins County mayor. We were called thugs. And that's when that peaceful dialogue got shut down.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, we did not request a permit to have dialogue in Swift Park, and we had a wonderful dialogue with 50
That was
people.
what we'd intended the
And
first time.
then the Tri-Cities young people, the New Panther Initiative, came and held their peaceful protest, and we participated. We were simply participants of that. We didn't organize that. We didn't know how it was going to come out. We were thankful that law enforcement did their job really well, and that the only arrestees were
mostly out of town.
tattooed with swastikas.
Yeah, out of towners.
Yeah, from Arkansas and Kentucky and who knows where.
Knoxville.
And